Hey fam, how's it going? What kind of vibes do we have to look forward to for February 14th? Valentines, any day that ends with Y? I don't know. Let's find out. What are the Valentine vibes that the YouTube fam and I have to look forward to? What are the February 14th vibes for 2025 that we have to look forward to? Boosh, let's cut that deck in 3. Put the center right on top. That card kind of slid. It stuck to the bottom of the one that went all the way to the right. So, the seed. Oh, thank. That's a good card. Beginnings come in many forms. They are not always a beautiful seed placed intentionally in nourishing soil. Origin stories, like any birth story, are complex, surprising, multi-layered, and usually reveal a central image or detail that represents the fully formed being. Simply stated, what the end is present in the beginning, or the entire ash tree resides within the acorn. Whether you follow the imaginal theory or not, know that when this card appears, there is potent, generative energy all around. It stirs your very insides and usually results in an antsy, impatient feeling. Pay particular attention to what agitates you, right? As it is a sure sign of growth to come. You are bumping up against a growth edge. It is from the grit that the pearl eventually comes to be. You know, every time I look away, I lose my place. I should probably stop doing that when I'm reading. I kind of, there's a card in the Believe in Your Own Magic deck that's like, you never needed those wings, Peter, you know? That's kind of the vibe that I've been getting from this card recently. I just drew this in a personal reading yesterday. My own personal, like, what do you want, what shall I keep in mind on this day? I think that anything we do, any skill we have, any of our abilities, we should be practicing, we should be working with them. It's just another muscle to build, right? And that's the vibe that this card has been holding for me lately, is you never needed those wings. The ability to do the things you've longed to do, that you've wanted to do your whole life, you've always had. Right? There's just different things that we've been able to learn that have granted us more wisdom to embrace. That, it's like something that I heard recently was pointing out how a lot of these writers that seem to do what all writers wish to do, it has a tendency to happen when they're in their 40s, in their 50s. A lot of musicians, a lot of people, our society is so hyper-focused on youth, right? But it's a lot of us who are in our midlives who begin to really, truly come into our own. We really are beginning to be comfortable in our skin and recognize that we're all human, right? We're all dealing with this life, right? So in the aspect of Valentines and a day that ends with Y for a lot of us, right? This is whatever you hope for, whatever you're looking forward to, whatever you've been focusing on, whatever gets your love and devotion has always been there. It's always been present, right? So what about that Believe in Your Own Magic Oracle deck? Let us see here. What are the Valentines? And since this is my channel, hi, I'm Amy. If you're new here, it's so nice to meet you. If you're returning, thanks. I really appreciate your company either way. I like to stick to the positive vibes portion of the program, the words of encouragement that we may really need to hear right about now, right? If something comes up, some nitty-gritty, then we'll work through it, hopefully help us one another process through it, whatever. Either way, what are the positive vibes that we can look forward to this February 14th of 2025? Villain, you can always rewrite the story. Whatever your situation, whatever it is that you've been hoping for, whatever you thought, on the bottom is feather. Think first before you judge. And I'm just going to place that right there. And, no, actually, I'm going to place it right here. And keep that in mind, because I feel like that's a part of it. There are things that some are still healing from, working through, right? And one of those is judgment of others, right? You may have been through a lot, as we're seeing with this villain card, but just like I was speaking earlier about a moment ago about wisdom gained from those experiences officially in the past, like with new beginnings means that you can go anywhere. You can do anything, right? If you want love in your life, you better be pumping those vibes on out there, not desperately seeking, but I love myself. My love for myself is more than enough. I spoil the shit out of myself, whatever that means. Let's be smart and let's not throw everything away, right? And that enables the 3D to match your vibe, to know like, oh, that's what this person wants now. That's what I want now, right? We're not thinking about the things that disappointed us, the things that have taught us, well, that's someone I don't really want to spend time with, right? Underneath that was flower. Be honest with yourself. What did you say at some point? And it kind of haunts you, right? I feel like a major theme going on these days for all of us in some way or another is the ability, if you don't already, to recognize what someone has going on, where they are in their journey without judgment, right? Because there's wisdom and then we move on. This card is about someone, your villain won. Whatever it was that they had going on in some way, shape, or form that has changed you, they won. But you're being reminded that all of the wonderful things that you have to look forward to, that you're capable of, have always been there. And that's who you really are. So whatever just happened in whatever moment that's been haunting you, that has cast judgment on others because maybe you felt like that's what you could expect from others, a shift is able to take place. And you're remembering, hopefully, that you don't have to buy into their story. This is your story. And if your story has love involved, then good. It's supposed to, okay? It's supposed to. If that's what you want, then what the fuck, right? Now let's see if we can get some clarification. I don't know. I hope so. Listen, I'm a very silly person. If you can't handle that, I still wish you the best. Have a good day. Otherwise, what are the positive vibes for February 14th of 2025 that we have to look forward to? That Empress, did you see her jump the fuck out of there? All right, so we already have Venus represented. Cool, right on. Oh, hey, if wherever you are, whatever you're doing, give and receive, fam. Give and receive. That's all I have to say about that. Shit. All right, since everything's flying everywhere, I'm going to trust that it's time to cut the dang deck. My goodness gracious. They released the chaos a wee bit, and I am unbothered. What's chapter 3? I like to think of the tarot as its own story. Chapter 4. Okay. So right off the bat, we start with the Empress, and then we move on to the 6 of Pentacles, and then the 5 numbers and stuff. I want to make sure you can still see them. Then I drew the High Priestess. Someone's intuition is on par. So let's talk about it. I feel like you're being reminded that your heart pumps regularly. Unless you're exceptional and it's irregular, and then just take care of yourself. Either way, take care of yourself. You be safe and you take care of yourself, okay? The Empress is very cozy. She's oh so cozy, just sitting in her cozy chair with her blankie and her pillows, surrounded by nature. She has stars on her head, connected to not only her intuition, but the world, the earth, the universe. Her intuition is on point. So I'm finding it really interesting that I began with her and this top row ends with the High Priestess. And between them, we have the Six of Pentacles, which pentacles are everything. They're not just money. They're the earth. They are everything. They're what sustains you, what you focus on, what your, your dedication and hard work, what your skills are built upon, that foundation, right? Seeds planted, everything cultivated, right? And this person has a scale. That card is talking about balance and equality, right? Being a part of the ebb and flow of life and nature. And the Five of Swords, I like to refer to as the fuck around and find out card. It has many layers. It can talk about the battles, the fights, the turmoil, the bullshit that you've dealt with. And if people, because one thing about that is even if people are behaving badly, even if they're disrespecting you, you're learning. The trick is to not be detrimental in that learning process, to not turn it against yourself, to recognize, okay, that's where you are on your journey. It actually has nothing to do with me. So I'm going to respect that and give you that space, whatever that looks like for you, right? Because this can also talk about that, all those people there being you, right? Being you and your journey back before you knew how to handle certain things, before you've grown to the point where you are right now, right? And we have 2, 3, 5, and 6 represented. Where's the 4, fam? Right? Your intuition through everything is on point. You have reached a point where you can recognize, okay, my upbringing, maybe it was your parents, and then recognizing how that has set the course for your relationships throughout your life, right? What's coming up underneath the Empress? The Queen of Cups. Fucking A, yeah. One nurturing chickie mama with another nurturing chickie mama. The Queen of Cups is still able to love. After everything, all that she's been through, she's still able to feel. She still allows herself to feel. And she's capable of recognizing what others feel without judgment, without pointing fingers and mocking. You know what I mean? We have emotions for a reason. I mean, exceptions occur in nature, boy howdy, but there's nothing wrong with the emotions. There's nothing wrong with being able to go along the flow of life. What's coming up underneath the Six of Pentacles? My goodness, fam. This is a Valentines, February 14th, positive vibes reading. So, some people will say something about this card. The question is, will you accept this gift? The imagery is like a gift from the divine, right? This hand coming out of the clouds. But, some people may consider it a very phallic card. So, like I said before, fam, that's coming up underneath the Six of Pentacles. We're talking about giving and receiving, baby. So this is a mutually fulfilling occurrence. So whether, this could just be going about your day. If you're single, if you're not really worried about mingling and none of that, you're not worried about reservations on the 14th. everybody else that has the ability to put up with it, they can enjoy themselves. But, you know, maybe set it for the 15th, the 17th, the 13th, whatever, anything but the 14th, right? Depending on where you live. Either way, this could, but it can also, you know, if you're single, it can mean like just the giving and receiving of kindness throughout the day, throughout the week. Like I said, any day that ends with Y, right? And being able to know that you are surrounded, to believe that you are surrounded by people who are kind and helpful and genuine. Because either way, you know how to handle it if you're not, right? And trusting that it's all working out, that you're part of the ebb and flow regardless, because yeah, you're alive. You are alive as fuck, all right? So, do you receive this gift? Do you accept being able to enjoy your day in either way, whether, you know, or it's just interacting with others in very innocent ways, platonic ways? What's coming up underneath the wisdom gained with the Five of Swords? It's the Knight of Swords. But I feel like, again, we're bringing in the divine and the universe and our intuition into this, right? The Knight of Swords has been through the whole suit. They've earned this place in the kingdom for reasons. They know what they're doing. They know what they've experienced. They know who they are, and they have this clear mind, this clear focus that they're set on as they travel out to share this message. This is also the fastest night in the tarot. This is a matter of hours. This is a matter of a day or two, whatever time frame may be. This is coming up. I mean, it is about February 14th, isn't it? So with all of that wisdom, regardless, everything that you've learned through your experience, whether they've been difficult or not, whether you've had the dream life or you've learned a lot. Yeah, you've learned a lot either way. And it's enabling you. So this could be representing you going forth and doing your thing. Like the planet's planeting has just inspired you and all that good. Or something's coming up with a quickness. A message is coming in that is going to clarify whatever it is for you that you need clarification for, that you've asked for clarification for. Because what kind of people send out these nights? What about the High Priestess? What's going to come up underneath the High Priestess? It's the Nine of Wands, fam. Oh, this is recognizing that things like your passions, your creativity have been affected, have been a part of your life. Maybe you grew up dancing and singing and writing and just really thriving in that. And then you were told, well, now you got to get a job. You're done with school. Now you got to get out in the real world and you got to pay these bills. Maybe you had to start doing that when you were younger, when you were still in school. Maybe you're big old plane. Maybe your family was already depending on you. I know a plethora. I know multiple people where that was their circumstance. Their parents have been depending on them since they were old enough to work. For whatever reason, right? And your creativity, your passion was dampened. You had to wait, or it kept getting stifled. You were thwarted. You felt thwarted through so much of life. Now you're recognizing that this is a time for healing. So there's people out there who are very much so single, who are quite okay with it, and they recognize that they've been healing. But the flip side of that is we're nearing the end of that cycle. We're nearing the end of that, and you know it. It's coming up underneath the High Priestess, fam. Energy's energy. The High Priestess is intuition and connected. You know, she's connected to the moon. She's connected to the tides. She's just very aware and in sync, right? She trusts herself. So that's the vibe with that card, at least what I'm gleaning from it right now. And you're recognizing, because that's a blue sky back there. Those are white bandages on their heads, right? This is a time to heal. But I feel like you also need to be reminded that you don't need to be perfect to be loved. You don't need to be perfect and whole, whatever the fuck that means, to welcome love into your life. You just simply need to love yourself. Accept yourself. Allow yourself to heal and be comfortable in your own skin, your own body, your own life, right? Recognize and honor how far you've come, how capable you are, right? Others believe in you, and you deserve that. You deserve to be believed in, to be not applauded, but cheered on, right? And not manipulated, because remember, we started off not only with the seed, but with the Empress, fam. And being reminded that, yeah, some people have really hurt you. There are people out there just running amok like bulls in china shops, right? But that's not you. So what does that have to do with your life? Besides the wisdom gained and how far you've come. Any confusion that you've had to deal with is in the past, officially in the past. What's the epilogue to this story? The Four of Cups, fam. That's our 4. 2, 2, 3, 4. I'm doing it, fam. Here we go. 5, 6. And technically we have 2 6s because of this 66. And I'm pretty sure that the feather card, the think first before you judge, from that oracle deck is 26. So then the rest is royalty, gifts from the divine, and a reminder that you're healing. You're in a healing space. This is a time that is more than okay for you to heal. Why? Because you freaking want to. That's really all that I need to know. Can I put these back the way they were? Yes. Hey, I figured it out. So now that we have our 4th card, we can see for ourselves how everything works as it's intended to, right? And the problem with that is sometimes we feel the need to control the outcome. We get so focused on that destination, we forget to have fun on the journey. So whatever this Valentine's means for you, even if it's just a day that ends with Y, it's just a date, February 14th. Because if we love, that is a day that ends with Y, right? It's any day, it's any time that you can honor and celebrate that, right? There's so much blue sky. The only sky that isn't blue and beautiful is this 5 of Swords, this Knight of Swords, but they're gray, which at least in this printing, right? That speaks of impartiality, neutrality, unbiased. It's in the rear view, right? It's in the rear view. The only thing it has to offer you anymore is wisdom, right? But we also have that beautiful golden sky of the Empress. Here comes the sun. So let go of control over the outcomes, okay? What's on the bottom of the tarot deck? The Ace of Cups. So if you don't have love in your life, ultimately, this is for some a question of whether one is coming in. I tend to consider the bottom of the tarot deck as the main gist of the reading, the main vibe, right? And this is a Valentine's reading. But this card also speaks of creativity and new ideas just as much as the wands do, right? This just has that fiery, passionate kick to add in there, which came up in the reading. And if I hadn't checked the bottom, you wouldn't have seen this. But I did. Because you should know that love belongs in your life. It belongs in your life. Regardless of what you believe in. You can at least believe that. Okay? So stop worrying about controlling how everything works, right? Neville Goddard doesn't ask, what do you think it's going to look like when you get everything you want? He asks, how would you feel? How would you feel if you were free? How would it feel if you had the money to set every single bill to auto pay? You could have all the subscriptions and lose track of it. Sometimes I wonder when I hear about these ads and these things about things that can help you manage your finances and recognize, well, I never even use Adobe anymore at this point in my life, so I really don't need that subscription. You know what I mean? Like, how would you feel if you had everything you want? If you had love in your life? Because it begins with us, fam. It begins with you. And it spreads right on out, okay? What are the extra notes for this reading? Ooh, we're keeping it under 30, baby. Under 30, especially if I stop dancing. Whoopsie. All right, moving on. Yeah, you've had, like, you're coming, someone at least has, you know, somebody really broke your heart. Things didn't work out the way you had hoped, and it took you out for a little bit. And now you've been so hyper-focused on particulars, right? You know what you want. You know what makes your soul purr, and you need to trust. You need to trust yourself. You need to trust your life. You need to trust the universe. You need to trust God. Like, whatever these things mean for you, you need to get the heck out of your own way, because you know better, and you're healing, and that's allowed. So you take care of yourself, and you practice that self-love, and you pump out those positive vibes, and you trust, and that gift is going to come right on out there. It's going to be right in the palm of your hand. Cut the deck. Fam, you need to be open to receive, okay? You need to be open to receive. And then everything works out. It's so funny how everything works out. Aries. Who's the Aries? What's going on there? Oh, I'm pulling from the bottom, aren't I? The Aries was on the bottom, but I normally... No. Oh, okay. Apparently this one was upside down. So someone needs to be reminded, these are the lyrics to Go Your Own Way by Fleetwood Mac. And when my note on here, the reason why I created this one was it's talking about love at arm's length. Someone has recognized that someone else is at a point on their journey that is very toxic. It's their energy right now is... And it means that the other person doesn't recognize what they're doing. They don't recognize that they need to heal. They're on their trajectory. You know what I mean? And they're having difficulty recognizing how they're affecting others, and that's their path. But you need to recognize that it's okay to love at arm's length, to love someone, but I can't help you. I am not what you need. I'm a habit, right? That's above my pay grade, whatever the heck it is, you know what I mean? And you need to recognize that. Maybe it's the Aries. Maybe the Aries is the one who really hurt you. Like for me, my mother is an Aries, and my relationship with her and how she behaves and how her mind works is really... That was just such an important relationship in my formative years, and the relationships that I've had for the longest time were very, like, I personally can look back and connect all the dots and such. I've been doing my own healing. This has been such a transformative time for all of us, right? So, oh, fam, it's all good. Either way, we got, either way, there's some good shit going on. And just don't get lost in the sauce, right? Don't expect people to do certain things, and that's, you know what I mean? Like, you are also reminded to think before you judge. So if maybe you're being triggered by someone new that has come into your life, and it's making you want to run because of those villains of your past. And maybe you need to remember to be open to receive and recognize that those that have been haunting you can be loved at arm's length. Okay? I hope these things helped someone anyway. I hope that I've at the very least entertained you, right? Thank you so much for joining me in this tarot reading. I really appreciate it. And either way, I wish you lots of love. And always remember that I love you.